slow killers like lung disease are still in the spotlight. The mining minister, as you heard there, saying that Anglo and others are moving closer to a deal with mine workers who contracted silicosis. But in a separate statement today, a group of gold mining companies said they rejected the claims against them. The miners, Anglo American, AngloGold, Goldfields, Harmony and Sibanye, have announced they've formed an industry working group to address issues relating to occupational lung disease in the gold mining industry in South Africa. Well, to discuss, we're now joined by spokesperson for that initiative, Alan Fine. Thank you for joining us, Alan. Firstly, what is happening? Because the mining minister seemed to suggest that some amicable agreement was on the cards in the case of a specific class action. The statement is saying something different, that the miners are still rejecting legal responsibility.
Yes, these are separate issues. The five companies have gotten together and have decided among themselves that they would like to initiate a process of engagement with all interested parties who include government, organised labour, representatives of litigants, other mining companies, to work towards what we are calling a comprehensive solution to the issue of occupational lung disease. And we're looking for a comprehensive solution that will be fair to employees and sustainable for the industry. That is what we are looking towards, and the process is just beginning.
Still, doesn't it look disingenuous? Because these processes are happening at the same time. So the lawsuits are still there. On the one hand, the miners are saying we reject liability. On the other, this is such an important issue that we'll form a working group because obviously it matters.
The companies don't believe that they are legally liable for the claims that are being brought. However, they do recognise that occupational lung disease in gold mining is a very serious legacy issue for the industry, and for that reason want to seek a comprehensive solution to it. And that solution deals with all sorts of issues, both, for example, treatment for sufferers. It deals with future compensation legislation, and it deals with the issue of claimants who are making claims on the grounds that they believe that the statutory compensation they received was insufficient.
It still sounds like a hard balance for me, because the way you deal with the law cases could undermine trust in this matter. But let's move on. It says the companies want to implement a solution that's fair to employees and the sector. And I guess that in the past...
sustainable to the sector.
Yes, so sustainable to the sector. In the past, the concern has been that the profit motive has been at the forefront. Now we're looking at a balance. But shouldn't we actually be swinging the other way and saying no miner should contract lung disease?
Absolutely, and for many, many years the companies have been working very hard to reduce the incidence of dust. Back in 2003 they committed towards meeting certain targets designed to eliminate silicosis. The issue with silicosis is that it only manifests itself anything between 10 and 30 years after initial exposure and with continuing exposure. So we are seeing improvements in the incidence of silicosis, but what the improvements we are seeing even now are a consequence of the improvements in dust management the companies brought in decades ago, and the improvements are continuing all the time.
Are they enough? What is your likelihood of exposure to this dust, to contracting silicosis, if you're going down underground every day as a gold miner?
Well, what the companies committed to in 2003 was to achieve dust levels that would mean that nobody who first goes underground from 2008 would contract the disease. It is too early to be able to tell whether that target has been reached, because, as I say, it only manifests itself anything from 10 to 30 years after initial exposure. But we believe we've done a great deal of good work through ongoing research and development.
It is scary because you can only tell down the line. So you say you should be absolutely safe. You can monitor the dust levels. And are the gold miners monitoring them themselves? Because in this country it's been said that there is a problem with regulation. You need those inspectors to be on the ground. Barring that, you need the gold miners to take this seriously.
There is constant monitoring of dust, and the results of the dust monitoring are reported regularly to the Mine Health and Safety Council, which is a tripartite body, and everybody is aware that it is a serious issue and it is very carefully and seriously monitored.
What will be happening next year? Because you're talking about a flurry of activity, meetings to show seriousness in this regard. And I want to know if Labour will be involved in that. AMCU raising concerns about lung disease today.
We are going to be having initial meetings over the next couple of weeks with the three relevant government departments, which are Health, Labour and Mineral Resources. We're meeting with the four unions active in the industry. We're going to be meeting with other mining companies, and we're going to be meeting with the legal counsel of the claimants in the hope that that will set up a process to be gotten into intensively from the beginning of next year.
All right, we'll follow. Thank you for your time. That was Alan Fine, spokesperson for that working group set up by the gold miners. Well, speaking of the gold miners, they shot up on the market once more, adding more than 6% today. But that wasn't enough to lift the JSE. Here's a quick look at your main financial indicators.